Hi there. So this is Suzy Wraines and with Wraines Wellness, and today we are with Gayle of Sober Bliss. Um, Welcome. Thanks for coming today, and
Oh,
tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do for people.
no, thank you for having me, Susie. It's lovely to be here. So my name's Gayle and I am a sobriety coach. I quit drinking myself, um, coming up to about 2 years, and it was a huge lifestyle choice for me. We live here in Spain and drinking's a big culture over here, and we kind of fell into it and took it to the extreme, I suppose. And it got to the point where it was having negative impact on everything, my life, my health, my family, everything. And it was just time to stop. And to be honest, like a lot of women who I work with, and probably the women that you talk to as well, the thought of giving it up is really, really scary.
Hmm.
But once you do, then you realize it's like I've been let into a huge secret, and I want everybody to know because the benefits are just so amazing. But until you kind of get to that place, it can be really scary for a number of reasons. So that's what I do. I help women to kind of take that step and help them on their way to creating a life that they love without alcohol, because it's a lifestyle choice, isn't it, Susie? As you know, it's
Hmm.
not just a question of not drinking anymore or getting through cravings. It's a whole new way of life. So that's what I help women with.
Yeah, and you and I have talked about this before, but that with me working with women on habit changes, they don't realize how much alcohol plays in their life. And then when they start
Yeah.
making other changes, that's one thing that starts to drop away. But some people realize when they're making healthier changes, it's harder to let go of that. They don't realize how
Yes.
much it's been integrated into their lifestyle. Like you said, it's a lifestyle. Um, so, what are some of the challenges that you see with clients that work with you when they're trying to find a way to step away from alcohol?
Yeah. The biggest challenge is probably people find that they are actually emotionally dependent on alcohol. People I work with aren't physically dependent on it, but they do find that, oh gosh, I am actually more reliant on it than I thought I was, which is why
Yeah.
it's so difficult to give up. Even if, you're not a big drinker, but even if, you come to rely on that one or two glasses of wine at the end of an evening to unwind and relax, and then you find that actually I can't do without it, then it becomes a worry. And then with that comes, the self-doubt, the shame, the fear of judgment. People worry, oh my gosh, I've got a problem, I'm an alcoholic, I can't do without this glass of wine. And it throws up a whole lot of emotions as well. And that was probably the biggest struggle, I would say, is dealing with emotions, like stress and anxiety, even happy emotions, when you're so used to, as a culture, drinking through everything, that when you want to not drink anymore, you kind of left, well, what do I do now? How do I cope with
Yeah.
all of this going on? And that is a big struggle for women.
Yeah, and I know with some of my clients too, food and alcohol are kind of, it's like we celebrate with food, we use alcohol to celebrate. When we're anxious or stressed, we may go to food, we may go to alcohol. So it's
Yeah.
finding things that are healthy to go with
Yes.
when I'm celebrating. Let's do something healthier.
Mm.
Yeah, emotions are very much attached to. And what I do with the habit change coaching is teaching people that part of their brain attaches to that coping mechanism. So like with alcohol,
Yes,
that part of your brain is just trying to survive. And they don't realize
exactly.
that, that sense of belonging or love or safety or whatever it is that your brain is trying to do, has now used alcohol to make it feel comfortable. So
Yeah,
stretching out of that is really hard. Um,
yeah.
what are some tips that you could give someone watching, to help them put themselves first and really start looking at what they could do to replace alcohol? So if they're depending on that wine at the end of the day to unwind, what are some tips you could give them and ways that they could do something different?
Yeah, that's the main thing you just said, is to put yourself first. If you really want to stop drinking or cut down, then you need to listen to yourself. You need to work out what's going on with you. And the big tip that I would give is work out why you rely on that glass of wine so much. Work out what it really is you're trying to achieve. Because often, as you know, with habits, sometimes it's something that we do automatically. We don't even think about it. So, you associate relaxing at the end of the evening with a glass of wine, when actually what you really want is just to sit down, put your feet up, have 5 minutes to yourself. It's actually not the wine that you want, but what's happened is, because you've done it for so long, you kind of associate that relaxation with wine. And, if you're feeling triggered or you're having a craving, it's because you associate that particular event with wine or whatever it is that you drink, and not the actual thing that you want to achieve for yourself. So listening to yourself and working out what it really is that you want is key. And in order to do that, you do have to put yourself first. I recommend a lot of journaling. It's really revealing when you actually sit down with yourself, try and work out what's going on. So a lot of journaling, a lot of experimentation as well. What else can you do at 9 o'clock, for
Mhm.
example? What is it that you want to achieve? For me personally, I used to stop drinking at about 2:30 in the afternoon, because it was a time when my kids came home from the school run, and it was kind of, let's not be in working mode anymore, let's be in mum mode. So it was that switch. Uh, But what I really needed in that moment was actually just 10 minutes to myself to do something different, whether it was going for a walk or reading or meditating. And once I figured out, that there was something better that I could do at that time, then I found that actually I didn't want to drink at all for the rest of the day. So it's really getting clear on you and what you need in order to be able to get past that. Um, and definitely, being a bit selfish and putting yourself first is so important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely coach on that as well. And again, that's why I invited you to talk about this and to share what it is that you do,
Mm,
because so much of what we do is exactly what you said. We
yeah.
tend to put ourselves in the back burner, and like you said,
Do.
there's we get to a place where we are doing something because it's associated with a need.
Yeah.
And so, for example, I'm thinking about the example of someone coming home at the end of the day and they want to have a glass of wine to unwind. Instead of reaching for the wine, you put on some aromatherapy. Maybe you grab a book if you like to read.
Mm,
Maybe it's just that put your feet up for 10 minutes,
yeah.
take a minute and journal. A lot of things. I had a client once that she would snack, and she at a certain time of the day, kind of like with you at the end of the school day, that certain time of day triggered her to go grab a snack. And
Mm-hmm.
I asked her, I said, can you remember a time where that particular time of day, you actually, caused that to happen. And she realized she was volunteering at her kids' daycare. And at a certain time of day, they would do snacks for all of the kids. And so the adults would snack with them. And it was
Yeah.
actually just a created behavior. And she
Mm.
realized instead of going for a snack, she could go take a break, go for a walk, go put the
Mm.
laundry in the dryer. There was these other things, but she didn't
Yeah.
realize it was a habit that had been created. So I
Yeah.
love that you shared that same thing, that alcohol becomes more of a connection to an
Yes.
emotion or to actually a behavior that we
Yeah.
don't even realize. It's just kind of there.
Exactly. Mm.
I love that. Yeah, taking care of ourselves is so important. Um, so we're in the holiday season right now,
Ah, yes.
and all the parties and the get-togethers. And I know that, excuse me, getting over a cough. Um, what are some suggestions that you could give to people in situations where there's going to be alcohol? If they're wanting to quit drinking or just starting to quit drinking, cutting back, or if they're a
Yeah.
person that's sober and doesn't want to fall back in to drinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the first thing I would say is decide if you really have to go to the event. Because, we talked about before, often we put ourselves at the bottom, especially if we're kind of people pleasers, and we might do things when really we don't want to do it. So if you really don't want to go and you can say no without feeling guilty, then that's the first thing I would do. But if it's something that you want to go to, or if it's, a work event or a corporate event or even a family event, and, you have to be there and you want to be there, then there's lots of things that you can do to make sure that you don't feel overwhelmed, that you don't feel under pressure, and that you can have a good time without the need, to reach for a drink. So the first thing is, I would say, plan in advance. And I discovered this tip actually not long ago. And if it's, a formal event, often they have, when you have to respond, they have at the bottom if there's any kind of dietary requirements or anything. And you can put down no alcohol. Because, if they're catering for people who are vegan or who have got allergies or anything, then why not cater for somebody who doesn't drink? So
Yeah.
that's the first thing I would suggest. Also, again, it depends on the kind of event. But if you could ring up ahead and find out, what non-alcoholic options there are available, then that would take a huge, amount of worry away from you, because you'll know that when you go, there will be non-alcoholic drinks available for you to enjoy. And then have a plan, maybe a list of 4 or 5 drinks that you like. So if you're asked for something and they haven't got the first one, and maybe they haven't got the second one, you're not kind of floundering and think, oh well, I'll just have it, whatever.
Yeah.
You're a bit more prepared. And again, depending on the kind of event it is, if it's a house party or family barbecue or something, then you can take your own
Yeah.
non-alcoholic drinks. So you know that you are well catered for and you've got something that you like and you will enjoy. One of my friends has been sober for just over 2 years now, and she went to a family Christmas do last year, and everybody completely forgot about her, and all she had was, fizzy orange that the kids got. And she just felt so disappointed. And it's that feeling that we want to avoid, not being kind of the odd one out
Mm-hmm.
or the weird one or kind of shoved in the corner with the kids. So if you can take your own lovely drinks, then that's a huge benefit. And immediately, you haven't got that pressure. What will I say if somebody asks me what I want to drink? If I say no alcohol and they ask me why, and, it kind of cuts out all of that.
Yeah.
So planning and preparation is key. And also go with a positive attitude. And I say this a lot in my own coaching, that often people think, oh, I'm so worried about this event. People are going to ask me why I'm not drinking. I'm going to be self-conscious. I'm going to be nervous. But if you go with a kind of negative or worried outlook, then chances are that will be, how the event might go.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go feeling positive and happy and proud of what you're doing and remembering the reasons why you don't want to drink, then it does make it a lot easier because you've got that kind of fixed in your mind already. So go with, the intention of enjoying the food, the music, the atmosphere, the people, because at the end of the day, these events are never about alcohol.
Yeah.
Although there might be alcohol there, they're never really about alcohol. It's about your friends, connections, food, the atmosphere. So try not to focus on the alcohol.
Yeah.
And
Sorry,
yeah,
that's something too that is, I love that. Very encouraging is your attitude, being
yes,
proud of what you're doing and being proud of who you are. And I
mm,
like to think of it as there's people there that maybe are inspired by you, that when
exactly.
they see you, no, thank you, I'm not drinking, I don't drink.
Mm,
It puts in their mind, if maybe that's something that they are struggling with or something that they want to do, then you just
yeah,
inspired them because you stepped
yeah,
out and you have that positive attitude and that confidence in the fact that
yeah,
you made that decision. And then you might
yeah.
be helping someone by doing that.
Exactly, exactly. And also, you probably won't be the only person there who's not drinking.
Hmm.
So, as well as maybe helping out that other person or inspiring somebody, you can be, like a sober buddy to somebody else.
Yeah.
You never, now the sobriety culture is really taking off. That people are kind of becoming more aware of the health benefits of not drinking. Um, so you won't be the only one who's not drinking at a party. So yeah, just be absolutely positive and proud. And if all else fails, have an escape plan. Take your car or have the number of somebody who you can ring so you can get a quick getaway. Because let's face it, often these kind of events, whether you're drinking or not, some of them might be a bit rubbish, but
Yeah.
you don't have to stay either if you don't want to. There's no rule says you have to be there at this time and you have to leave at this time. If you're not having a good time, then just leave.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. And I think I like your idea too, is maybe bring somebody with you, bring a
Yeah,
sober buddy with you, and then the two of you can be there for each other and you have a way to leave, if things are
exactly.
uncomfortable or if you're just
Yeah,
finished socializing, like you said,
yeah.
we tend to put those expectations that we need to stay until it's way late.
Mm,
And I'm a person that I don't like to stay up late. So,
Nina.
and people don't know this about me. I used to drink several years ago. I quit drinking a long time ago. But one of the things I found is that not only was drinking affecting my sleep, but staying up late. So even when I
Mm,
quit drinking, if I stayed up past a certain time, I just didn't get good sleep. And
yeah,
so the combination was really bad too. So yeah, just being that self care, really like taking
exactly.
care of yourself and doing things
Yeah,
that make you feel good. I
yeah.
love that. Um, so, for the ladies watching, what can they expect, or what do you offer for your coaching, your sobriety coaching?
Okay. Well, while we're on the topic of self-care, I do have a really popular virtual sober retreat. And the focus on that is helping people to learn how to put themselves first. So it's 7 days and it's basically teaching you how to bring some self-care into your life every single day without feeling guilty about it. because often we kind of know I should be doing this, I should be doing that, but I haven't got the time, or I feel guilty that, maybe I have to have time away from my family. And this retreat is really loving and gentle, and it gives you a short thing to focus on every single day for 7 days, so that you can gradually and gently learn how to say yes to yourself, learn how to put yourself first, and really listen and check in with yourself. And also, I do one-to-one coaching. I have a program which is 6 weeks long, which is online, accompanied by 6 one-to-one sessions with me. So you get daily lessons, a weekly check-in, and the lessons again are similar to the retreat. They're quite short, but they give you a lot of powerful tools to be able to help you through. And we cover, everything from why you want to quit drinking to sober socializing, sleep, habit, ritual, health, the whole range of things that come up when you start this journey. The lessons help you through them one by one, and we kind of learn new habits, learn new mindset as well. So by the end of the 6 weeks, you really feel strong and empowered and, passionate about creating a life that you love, that you don't need to run away from, that you don't need to numb out from, an alcohol-free life that you want, that you deserve.
Yeah,
So I do.
I love that. And how can people reach you if they're interested in looking into either the retreat or the one-on-one coaching?
My web, oh dear, my voice. My website is soberbliss.com. And I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Sober Bliss. So you can find me quite easily there. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll make sure and put that in the video so people have your information as well. Thank you so much for being here today. Love having you.
You're welcome. A pleasure.
Yeah. And for those of you watching, if you want to get in touch with Gayle, again, I'll have her website up, and I'm going to continue to do interviews with people. So stay tuned for more interviews with the lovely women professionals that we have.